Okay, welcome to a special bonus edition of No, It's Not Still 2006. What I'm going to do today is just give you a quick insight into the tap dancing that I have to go through to get my FSX system up and running. This is a aging system. I'm using the FSX boxed edition, and it's an old installation that I haven't refreshed for a long time, and so it's somewhat idiosyncratic. So both the computers are on at the moment. This runs on two computers. So we need the mouse. You can fly this system without the keyboard and the mouse, but you can't start it up that way. So the first thing we're going to do is run track IR. So that comes up, we can just put that away now. It's running. I'll run Active Sky next. Sorry, Active Sky 16. This is. The first thing this is going to do is tell me there's an update. So I'm going to say no, I don't want an update. The system's stable, it works, I don't want to update anything gratuitously. That's probably going to break something, or at least it's going to take me 20 minutes to get the update installed. I'll run the FS Widgets network host, which annoyingly always comes up in the middle, even if you put it over here. I won't start that server yet. I think FSX has to be running for that to start. That's for the moving map, by the way. We're going to run FSX Go. This runs FSX. I don't really need FSX Go. This is the Orbix tool. I don't really use any alternate profiles, so I could just run FSX. This is running the AussieX splash screen, if you remember that. This is going to tell me there's an update for Orbix, I don't know, Object Flow, I think it is, as well. Same thing, we're going to leave that unupdated. We don't want to break anything. Everything works fine at the moment. Well, fine-ish. The thing about FSX is if you change one thing, you're liable to break something else. So we'll cancel that. That's the Linda splash screen. Linda comes up with FSX. So today we're going to be flying the Twin Otter, which I'm going to select. That's going to be 10 clicks down. I've got the Twin Otter Tundra version. I'm going to be flying part of my round the world trip, so I'm going to open the flight plan. That's the one. Open. OK. Do I want Flight Sim to move the aircraft to the departure airport listed? No, because I'm not at the departure airport. I'm going to fly the last flight of the Suez to Mumbai leg, and I've flown most of that already. So I need to move manually to where I'm parked, which is Karachi. I need the keyboard for that. OPKC Jinnah International, Karachi. Time of day, we're going to make it daytime, 10:45, that'll do. It's got enough time to fly 500 miles to Mumbai. We can click fly now. FSX will come up. It's in windowed view when I shut down. Comes up fairly quickly these days. My PC's kind of a respectable spec, so we're just waiting for that. Okay, a few more things I'm going to need to do, but for now, if I go to my second PC, I can start up the Twin Otter panel on Air Manager. Air Manager runs automatically with the PC boot. I could get it to load the panel automatically. I don't do that because I've noticed more often than not, if the panel's loaded, I think this is how it is, before FSX loads, then some of the Air Manager gauges don't seem to connect properly. So the way around that is to not load the panel until FSX is running. I'm going to start the moving map server. I'll switch on the iPad so we can see the moving map. I need to type in the password. So the moving map's there. Can you see that? I don't know. So the moving map is up. We can press connect, and sure enough we're in Karachi. I need to wiggle the Cytec ProFlight Cessna trim wheel. If you listen carefully, you'll understand why. And also, if you note, there's a green message bar there, came up from Linda. The reason for that is, and other people have reported this, the Cytec Cessna trim wheel, for some reason when Windows boots, doesn't get detected automatically until you move it. Problem is, when I run the sim in full screen mode, first time I touch that trim wheel, sometimes it kicks me out of full screen mode, and causes Linda to reload the profile and so on. So that's inconvenient. We've got to do that as a preemptive step. Another thing with Linda, I've got to go over to Linda, I've got to select joystick, and then I've got to operate one of my controls. Now usually I do the caution lights. If I cycle that a couple of times, if I don't do that, for some reason I find that my Linda off actions, so that's the button up actions, don't register. So my button down actions work okay, but the button up actions don't. Again, don't know why that is. You might think this is all superstition, but trust me, this is hard-won empirical on-the-ground knowledge for this particular motley collection of software. So where are we now then? My landing light should be on. We can go to full screen now, Alt Enter, which is how I run the simulator. My track IR is active. If I center that, the other thing I've got to do is another Linda thing. I want to synchronize all of my switches. I should be starting this up cold and dark, from cold and dark really, but I'm not doing that today. But to make sure my switches are synchronized, I have a function for that. If I press this button labeled Sync All Controls on the overhead, and then we watch what's happening up here. This is Linda scanning all the joysticks and calling all the off actions and then all the on actions for each button it finds on each joystick. That synchronises the state of the switches in the virtual cockpit with the state of my hardware switches. The next thing I need to do is, the GPS is supposed to be displayed on this monitor here. We can't save the position of that in FSX, or at least not very robustly. So to bring that up, we got to resize the GPS to be the right size for the small screen. I'm using the built-in GPS today because I'm using it with a flight plan. I usually use the Reality XP GPS, but we can't load and save flight plans on that. One more thing I have to do if I want to navigate, because I've got the RXP GPS installed, if I want to navigate on the internal GPS, I've got to bring up the RXP GPS. So there's the RXP GPS over there. I've got to right click on this click spot. You heard that beep? That means we're now navigating, or we've now slaved the autopilot to the internal GPS, not the RXP one. That is the one function in the Reality XP GPS that can't be automated, can't be assigned to a key or a button. You have to do it with the mouse, which is a complete, well, let's just not go into that. Last thing we got to do, turn on the speakers for the ATC, and we'll just check that out by getting the ATIS. Active Sky uses 122.0 for the nearest ATIS, so we can check that out.
Oscar Papa Kilo Charlie Airport information Echo 1525 Zulu weather wind 238 at 5 visibility 3 sky clear temperature 29er dew point 17 QNH 1008 advise on initial
QNH 1008, so we can set that. And we're good to go. So now we can put the keyboard away, we can put the mouse away, and we don't need those at all for the rest of the flight. And if I just demonstrate that by putting some flaps down, parking brake off, and getting us out of here. Woohoo! It's that simple. So there it is. You can see what kind of a tap dance I have to go through to start up my FSX. This is one of the reasons I've been experimenting with X-Plane. X-Plane will start up very much easier than that, and it's one of the reasons why I'm probably going to do a complete reinstall sooner or later. And actually I'm going to try experimenting with Prepared as well.